everyone, welcome to another PARS tutorial. Today we are going to be looking at our ruler number 51, which is the Circlip ruler. So the first thing I want to do is just draw your attention to these small little lines on either side of the channel. We will need to make use of those later, but for now, the first bit that we're going to do is just put our foot down, needle down, make sure it's nice and secure in the channel, and we are just going to sew the whole shape of the horseshoe. So we're just going to let the ruler guide us round from one side to the other. Make sure that when you finish, you're nice and snuggled up into the end section. Okay, so again, these two neck sections here, we need to sew back to the nearest one that's available to us. So we're going to stop there, and then we're going to twist the ruler the other way round. We are then going to put the neckline, use that now as a scroll line so we can line up the correct section. And then we need to sew the whole length of the ruler again, and then sew back until we reach the closest neckline to us. So the idea here is what we're doing is we are doing 4 points of the compass with the horseshoe shape. So again, just sewing back to that neckline there, stopping with the foot down and rotating the ruler round, lining it up by using the same neckline you can as a scroll line, and then just doing the third one out of the 4. So just take your time, give it a few seconds just to make sure it's lined up exactly where you want it. Sew the whole thing again, and then straight back to the neckline section that we were talking about before. Okay, so we're going to stop there, and then we're going to do the last rotation here. Spend a little bit of time making sure it's lined up exactly where we want it, using those two necklines, scroll lines, and then just sew again all the way around. And then when we get to the end of this one, we don't need to sew back to the neckline, because what we are going to do is we are going to take the ruler off and reposition it. Okay, so this is the point now. Once we've done these 4 points of the compass with the full shape, is where we are going to be using those two little lines that we discussed right at the beginning of the video. So we're going to use these 4 sections that I'm highlighting now with the line. So what we want to do is we need each end of those lines lined up with that little marker point. So what we're looking for is that the stitching is in the center of the channel, and it's also lined up with that marker point. So we are going to start from the marker point and sew from one marker point all the way round to the other marker point and stop there. And that is how we're going to build up this pattern that we've already started. Okay, so stop there, reposition the ruler, the exact same thing again for all 4 points all the way round. Mark up the sewing that's in the centre of the channel, and mark up the little lines that are level with that previous sewing. This just means that we get our nice closed section just how we want it, nice and consistent, just like we like it. Okay, so again, we're going to sew. This is the second bit. We're going to sew all the way around and stop at that marker point. Okay, so we're just going to continue this until we have, you can see how the pattern is coming together now. Now we've completed those 2. We're now going to do the third and the fourth. So this pattern, it can be a centerpiece. You could do several of these dotted around if you've got a larger quilt to give it that impact. Because we are taking the ruler on and off with this pattern, you could play with different thread colours for different sections of the pattern, just to give it that emphasis. Whatever you want that matches what your project is. Okay, so we're just doing the 4th one here now, and then this will be the completed main pattern for this Circlip ruler. I will then go on to show you a little bit of something else that we can do with the ruler. Okay, but I'll just finish this first. Okay, start with the needle down. I'm going to cut the thread there, and then you can see the finished pattern. So here you can see how it would be good if you have several of these. You could even do a centerpiece one like this, and then do circular ones all the way round just to build it all up. Okay, so that's the main pattern that we are doing today with this Circlip ruler. What we are going to do now is move on to show how you can do a beautiful and easy border with this ruler. So again, the first bit that we're doing is sewing the full length of the horseshoe shape. And this one we can do in one thread. We don't need to keep stopping and starting. We can just do this in one. So we just slide the ruler back to the beginning point, and then we just sew the whole thing again from one side to the other, and then we'll do the exact same thing again. Once we get to the end, we will stop, slide the ruler back round, and then just do the same thing again. And you can see it's starting to make up this beautiful sort of petal sweeping sort of border shape that we could easily add to give a quilt this beautiful pattern. So that's the basis of how we do this. We just keep doing the full horseshoe shape back to the beginning and keep doing it. You can alter the angle, so you've got wider or slimmer points to the border. You can tailor it to however you like. Okay, so that's the finished designs. So this was ruler 51 Circlip. Enjoy.